I've been excited to have a PC, to finally play games on PC and delve into that world, but now I'm realizing that I probably should have just sticked with console. Hello everyone, it's me, Eldis, back with another video, and admittedly, I wasn't entirely for sure if I was going to make this video because everyone is literally talking about it. But I feel like, I gotta rant about it because everyone is ranting about it. And I did make a video of me talking about the current awful sad state of retro gaming, so it only makes sense to talk about the current sad, awful state of PC optimization modern gaming. So it's more specific, not just modern gaming, but PC gaming. Which of course everyone probably knows what's warning this video is the terrible releases of PC optimization that we're having a lot noticeably this year, and we're not even halfway through the year. So we have The Last of Us Part 1, we have Jedi Survivor, and then now recently Redfall, all games release, and while they're not the greatest on all platforms, it is noticeably worse on PC. It's just I don't understand why studios keep releasing these awful games that are clearly not ready to be released and just release them, because now the state is, release now and fix later. But then of course the reputation is ruined, the game is tarnished, and no one wants to play it, and then of course you lose profits from that. But these studios seem to really want to meet deadlines or something like that, and I don't even blame the developers at this point. I'm pretty sure it is just the higher ups that are doing this, and they're just as annoyed as releasing these games in these terrible states as we are in playing them and getting games in these terrible states, because goddamn, just these games with some of the bugs and glitches and downright being unplayable, you would think they would know not to release them like this, because we want to play games. These aren't games to be played. You literally can't play them a lot on PC. But for some reason, it always seems to be PC now that gets the real dick end of all of this. Like, even games that are have decent releases, like Wukong Fallen Dynasty or Elden Ring, even both, and Dead Space, all games that are overall great and amazing and had good experience, seem to suffer a lot of stuttering and shader issues and just optimization issues on the PC that weren't as prevalent on console. And I basically all last year played all on console and hardly ever on PC. But just seeing the difference, it's just very noticeable that now, to me, having a PC now, that PC usually gets the worst optimization with a lot of games. And once again, I enjoyed Dead Space overall, but I had a lot of stuttering issues when it first came out that on console it wasn't as noticeable. Now, thankfully, it wasn't. And I probably will make a somewhat of a review video over Dead Space eventually, but it didn't happen during cutscenes a lot or during combat, so I could still enjoy the game overall. But it was still annoying that it had it at release and probably needed at least another month delay to fix those issues. But I know a lot of people said, if you look on Steam, had the stuttering issue a lot worse. But overall, good experience, but still annoying that it still happened regardless in a release state. And then there's Forspoken, which ran absolutely dog shit. And I'm not here to say my PC is state of the art, the best of the best, but it's an Alienware that meets the requirements of most AAA gaming, that I can play it at higher settings than your average PC. And so it annoys me that my best PC experience so far has literally been Sonic Frontiers, and I'm not saying that to compliment the game. Sonic Frontiers has been running better at the highest settings for me than most other PC games like Jedi Survivor, Redfall, and even Dead Space on their lowest setting. What the actual fuck? And it's also just very insulting to most PC players, because my brother started his PC journey 3-4 years ago, and he built his PC. Mine's a pre-build, but he actually built his, and he's probably spent from then till now about $5,000 on his PC to get the best gaming experience. And a lot of hardcore gamers usually spend thousands of dollars on their PC so they can have the best graphics, the best sound design, the best, just be able to pull all out the best experience of gaming. And then that's not including the $60s and now $70 price tags on these games that just to get them. And now even on their PCs, their high-end PCs, they can't even run these games worth of shit. And consoles, which are literally way cheaper to get than building a really good PC, it runs the game better. That's just kind of really insulting. But also, I don't even get why they release games like this instead of delaying them, because it tarnished their representation. It tarnished their reputation. And then the game, just no one wants to get the game, because Jedi Survivor is a really good game. Like, when it works, the gameplay is so much fun, and I absolutely love the story, but it just runs so badly on PC. It is literally unplayable that you can't enjoy it. You're just suffering just these bad optimization. And while it's not like the greatest on console, it is noticeably much better where you can actually play it. Not to mention games like Redfall, where they're releasing in 30 FPS instead of 60 FPS, which is also ridiculous. And I know some people defend it, being like, oh, they're gonna fix it, or you're entitled for thinking, you should get 60 frames per second, which, once again, it's pretty much the norm now, especially when you're charging people $70 for these games, because that's what Redfall and Jedi Survivor costs, is $70. But also, it's just that whole, it's just like, it should not, if we're paying money for this, we do expect that, the quality to match the price. And releasing a game at 30 frames per second locked, and also a game that doesn't even function, that is not worth $70. That is worth a refund. So, I don't know. It's just a very frustrating thing. And yes, there are games that end up fixing themselves and can redeem themselves, like Cyberpunk, but that is such a rarity, because there has been other games like the Postal Protocol, Fallout 76, that have since fixed themselves, where the games are more or less playable, but because of their terrible release, it tarnished that game, and no one even thinks of them except for their bad releases. So it's just a terrible mess all around. And once again, I think it's the studios, not the developers' fault at hand, but it's just like, we're 3 years into the decade and we're already having so many issues with modern gaming. It's so sad to see it. The best advice I can give is to not support games like this. Like, don't buy buggy games. Do not support this industry, because that's the only way they're gonna finally get it into their head that we do not want broken games. So it just annoys me. It surprised me that people defend this shit, but yeah, oh boy, I'm not really looking forward to where modern gaming's heading, but I really hope that this does not become the norm. But with that being said, if you like, subscribe if you haven't already. I post videos as often as I can. Have you played some of these titles on PC? What have been your experience? And do you think that this is the future of gaming? And as always, till next time, bye-bye.